Arrakis Dune. A planet that is both a volatile desert wasteland and the most precious jewel in the universe. For it is only on Arrakis where the spice melange can be found. The spice has shaped humanity for a millennia, and it is the foundation that makes interstellar travel possible. Fortunes rise and fall as quickly as the sands shift on Arrakis. It is a place where a smile and a quiet word can cut as easily as a crisp knife. And nothing is what it seems. Welcome to Dune.
Hello, and welcome to Weave the Tale. Tonight, we are playing our penultimate episode of Dune Adventures in the Imperium by Modiphius Entertainment. We are so freaking excited and also a little sad because, second to last episode. But before we get into the blood, sand, and spice, let us please introduce our players, starting with Paul.
Hey everybody, it's Paul here. I totally forgot to do a thing. I'll have to remind something with that here. But I play Raul, our head of security, and our stabby knife guy. Our Gurney Hackett of this group. And I think I'm going to get to do all the stabbing. What? No.
Alec.
I don't have the Brolin-esque looks. Am I more Stewart?
No, you're
than
fine
Brolin?
with that.
Is that what you're saying?
You're fine with that. You just got the name wrong.
Oh, I did.
So you were just kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm tired. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
It's like, fine. No, I'm not Duncan Idaho-esque. I don't have those lovely Samoan features. But
you have lovely features of your own, Paul.
I do. But no, it's our episode of getting to do all the fun stabby parts of Dune. So we'll see how that mechanically works and all the things that go along with that. Stabby, yes. Air quotes from Jace. Yeah, you can find me here on Weave the Tale on the regular and some other places here coming up soon, which, that's totally a thing. So I will pass off the microphone and,
all right,
do other things later.
Let's bring it then to Jace.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jace Ridley, and you can find me at Jace Ridley pretty much everywhere. Probably more around here, hopefully, and definitely on my own stream as well, and all social media. So that's, yeah. I play Zevier Vahn, are currently very unsure of what's about to happen Mentat, and hope you stick around for the last couple episodes.
Yeah. Let's bring it over to Allie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Allie. You can find me on Twitter at LexiPhoenix. And I am a writer and game designer. I do plenty of streaming stuff here. So far, I am involved with Dungeon Scrawlers and as well as have been doing a couple things with Polished Cryptids. So that's been a lot of fun. And I play Cassandra Lucinor, the very conflicted heir of House Lucinor, who has quite the decision ahead of her once the dust settles.
Awesome. We also want to bring up the wonderful Mark, who sadly will not be able to join us tonight. But you can follow him at Marcosius on Twitter. Also, Mondo Cane Publishing is their indie publishing firm. Definitely check out the stuff that they're doing. I believe it's just Mondo Cane Pub on Twitter. I can't remember specifically, but Ian can probably tag it in there. And for some reason, somebody is calling me on something, which is weird. But whatever. Anyway, so I am Jen. I go by SavageSparrow on the internet. You can find me at savagesparrow.com. Also on our sister channel, Penny for a Tale, on Sundays, where I stream Pathfinder with Ian as our GM. It's pretty awesome. This season, Weave the Tale is sponsored by the aforementioned Modifius Entertainment, Green Ronin Publishing, Free League Publishing, and Imagining Games. We also have some awesome rewards that Ian has linked into the chat. So definitely, especially as we're going into a combat scenario, you guys, the audience, can, depending on your retweets, subs, donations, etc., either help or hinder our players' success in the stuff they're going to be doing tonight. It's super great. And again, you're also supporting the cast, the channel, and everybody. So, we can keep doing all the cool stuff we're doing. But yeah, let's get into the game. Who's excited?
I'm terrified, actually.
I am.
Don't
Going to go. I'm
you're only
terrified.
storming a castle. It'll be fine. Yeah,
Well,
so
I'm
basically,
storming
what I would like from each of you right now is, basically in the hours before you're launching this assault, please give a brief description of what is your character doing as they're preparing for this? Where are they right now? Are you on the are you planet side working over a staging ground? Are you remaining in orbit to overlook the field in a more strategic and tactical way? Where is your character's head at in terms of what's going to be happening and the thoughts and things there? Just give that all give us where you are at mentally, emotionally, and even physically, because again, where are you? Let's start with Paul.
Raul is planetside. He is in their staging area on the ground. He is coordinating with the other troops from the other houses and making sure that everybody is on the same comm channels, everybody's on the same page, everybody knows the plan, because he does not want screw-ups, because this is one of those times where if things go right, they will go very, very right. If things go wrong, they will go very, very wrong. So his head is in every last detail, every minutia, every little thing. He probably makes sure to triple check with Theron, who probably looks very different right now.
Yes.
That everything that Theron has going on, Theron knows their role very well and has all their pieces and all their stuff in a row and is ready to rock. He's not suspicious of Theron, but he's very much he's going to ask Theron if this is their first real warfare level engagement, because they haven't really had that conversation.
So basically, at this point, Theron, I think I briefly described it to you guys last game. They remain very, the form that they have chosen, again, is one that is very tall, and still with those very pale, kind of androgynous, almost alien-like features, but in more of a Tilda Swinton kind of way than overtly actually alien. They have very pale blonde hair that they sort of keep slicked back, kind of, with doing the not quite the faux hawk thing, but the side swept back, so the top is slightly more up, again, very elegant features that sort of exist on that androgynous non-binary place. They would sort of look at you and give like a quiet kind of smile and say something to the effect of, the life I have led so far has been one where I have always been on that edge between danger and salvation. While outright warfare is not something I have had experience with, being in a situation where the wrong move can destroy me or those that I've served is not something that is unfamiliar to me.
Mm-hmm. Raul will nod and be like, all right, excellent. Stay on comm, and once we get what part is played, try to stay close. That way we can make sure to all get out. You may have to quick change, for lack of a better term. If there is a place while you were in there scouting that you think you could do such, denote it chance with some sort of like, but basically give them marker chalk for the situation, like denote it so that there's that, because at some point in time the visage you will be using may become compromised in the sense that the house guards will see you as a target and a traitor rather than someone that you should be protecting.
Okay. So to be clear, you want them to go in first as like another guard for the house, or did you want them to be the daughter?
So the very first, then definitely try to, if they can get in as just a random guard and deactivate the things using the daughter's codes, that is the preferred way. But being able to shift into the daughter to be able to get some other things done if need be is definitely not off the table, in the sense of like, this might be a strategy we have to use if things go sideways to a degree.
Okay, sounds good. So they're going in advance without necessarily backup or support. Yes?
Yeah, but they've proven that that's a thing they can do.
Oh, yeah.
Captured said smuggler.
Yes. Excellent. Okay. So Jace, let's talk about Zev. Where is their head at? Where are they physically, emotionally? Like, what's all going in as the Mentat is running these permutations and calculations?
Zev probably hasn't left the war room in more than a day at this point, going over numbers and figures with everybody planet side, well, most people aside from them. So at this point, they've got guards stationed pretty much throughout the ship, just making sure everything is kept quiet. And they're going through every single bit of information that they can find. Just trying to double check, triple check anything that can possibly give us an edge. Nervous, probably drinking more coffee than is healthy.
That makes sense.
Just presiding over this big map table.
I imagine at some point, you probably had Shanti just like create a caffeine drip, just because like that is a more efficient way to imbibe your caffeine, because then you can simultaneously like do other things instead of having to expend the effort of like physically drinking.
It's just a little IV drip that floats around next to me on a dispenser all the time.
Yeah. Oh man, like it's on its own graph platform too. Allie, let's talk about Cassandra.
All right. Well, since the initial planning, she's probably spent a lot of time I would say between the actual planning itself and just getting herself prepared, uh, a lot of time, sometimes spent in contemplation, sometimes spent shaking the rust off of her stabbing abilities. Let's put it that way, just in case. She's certainly probably attire wise, she's probably gone for something that's a little more on the practical side. Something still kind of with that sort of Benny Gesserit style to it, but like pants. We're talking pants here.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Oh, that's exciting.
but like little hood. It's got a hood. Of course, it's got a hood.
Yeah, definitely. Just because you're going into battle doesn't mean you can't be stylish. If
Yeah.
anything, that's the best time to be stylish because then your corpse is pretty.
This is true. She's also probably more overtly wearing her shields, her shield generator. So, yeah, that's a thing.
Oh my. Okay. So, so I understand. Raul and Cassandra are planet side. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And the doctor is also with you. He seems more quiet and sort of contemplative. Is very clear that he has had an experience from this spice trance that has changed him in some profound way. Um, but it seems very much like he's still in that processing state where he's unable to, really find the words to talk about it just yet. But he is there with you, providing medical support and any sort of like combat stims and stuff for the troops to engage with. And Zev, you are my question for you is going to be basically, do you want to have Zev be again, we described that you have like an interactive sort of hollow recording map, sort of like the battles in Star Wars, just because that's easier.
Yeah.
So do you want to be able to maneuver assets in that archetype or architect style level, or did you want to have somebody physically on the ground, like another character you control, to be able to do like the hands-on stuff? It's up to you.
I kind of figured on playing as Zev, both overseeing what's happening live and possibly
Awesome.
changing things on the fly via deductive reasoning, coordinating with Raul to move any pieces we have in play from above and relay messages.
Yes.
Because warfare is not exactly Zev's specialty, but they're involved.
Yes. And definitely, because of the cool way stuff works, you can spend, you can use actions and stuff to aid your allies. And, that ends up giving you little bonuses. So, things to keep in mind. I was going to say, so moving into the setting on Arrakis. So as I said before, Carthag is very much this city that is filled with, everybody's favorite types of scum and villainy. It is brutal. It is barbaric. It is, it has been twisted into something as close to, the violent bacchanals of Gidi Prime as they can get on Arrakis itself. So again, the House Evanesque seat of power, their little fortress, is located in a zone that is near a civilian populace, where the slums of this area have been, they've allowed the civilians to, even get up to like the outer wall with their shacks and whatever they can make into some sort of shelter. So this creates that added obstacle of, outright missile breaching will kill people. The house itself is also shielded, and you guys know, should like stuff like las guns hit a shield, that creates an atomic level explosion, which is very much against everything of the Landsrad. So be very careful on shooting laser beams at shielded things, because that is bad. And
You're gonna have a
I'm
bad
sorry.
time.
I'm sorry, but if anybody uses a las gun on a shielded target, that ends the game. You are literally using the nuclear option. You don't pass go. The game is over. Congratulations, everybody's dead.
I mean, I'm in orbit.
Well, okay,
I'm in
everybody
orbit.
but Zev is dead.
Zev gets a sequel series all by themselves.
And Zev is just not there when people show up to check out what happened. They're gonna be like they're just gone.
No, they would not be. They would not be anywhere near that ship.
Yeah,
Zev
that's what I'm
just
saying.
becomes
Like they're just out.
like the John Travolta gif of like just showing up to like this crater, like.
Yeah, that happened.
But circling back, thanks to Cassandra's negotiations, you guys also have assets and resources to play with from the other two houses. Number one, you have armored ground transport from Adar, which gives you armored slow and troop transport. Basically, these are like older lumbering tanks. They're old, so they're kind of slow, but again, these things are used to help protect the spice harvesters and stuff. So they are so well armored to avoid Fremen projectiles and rocket launchers and stuff like that. While the only thing though is that they are not the most maneuverable, so paths would need to be cleared in order to help them through the city or whatever, unless you're fine with just like running people over. Because sometimes progress marches forward regardless of what's in the way. Welcome to Dune, everybody.
This got
you
awkward.
also have right. You also have some ornithopters from Visperus. The ornithopters specifically are the attack race variety, so they can only hold a couple people, but they are fast flying. They have guns and missiles, so if there are strategic targets you need to take out, there you go. The infantry from House Adder is at +0. It does have a specialist tag in that they gain +1 in hand-to-hand combat, because again, these are troops that are specifically trained to at least withstand, because again, outside of the Sardaukar, nobody could really handle hand-to-hand versus the Fremen, but they do their best and they're pretty good at it. So against regular people who are not Fremen, that's a good advantage, You also have the Visperus shock troops, who are also at +1. They're defensive, armored, formation, well armed. Again, these are troops that came from Gidi Prime. They have endured a lot of awful training to be who and what they are. Money has been spent to make sure that they are good at what they are meant to do, which is be that people-shaped battering ram. So, where exactly is your staging ground? Is it in Carthag itself? Is it outside the city? Talk to me about your plan for getting people there. Are you doing recon for more information on this day of everything? Where you at?
So there will be some recon on the day. What he probably would have recommended is that we buy like spice storage facilities in the area, and then over the course of a couple days, move our troops in, including like 2 of the ground transports, because that's not even out of the ordinary. They would fit into that area, and spend our time disguising a lot of these people as workers for that particular spice situation. And basically make it out as a situation of us. Basically, we're here to, look at our brand new spice holding situation. We're not here to have a fight. Fights are not what's happening. Which they would assume is probably us starting to spy on them because, they don't like us and we're moving in next door. So that's not even anything crazy or out of the ordinary. After that, it's going to be a lot of probably doing some light sapper work if we want to move things, like setting it up so that we can bypass the slums and we're not driving through them after the shield goes down, and using the thopters to drop in the siege troops as fast as possible so that we can then just kind of rush in and deal with the situation, and using the heavy tanks as backup if things go wrong, because they even as close as we are, they're slow and lumbering, and we are trying to do this quickly and efficiently. So moving our people in on ground with the tanks as a backup, and making sure that our people are ready to rock in the, like, oh, look, we're moving from, like, this was clearly a business, aka we had set up people in staging areas of that nature and doing things in that way from the jump off. Putting people strategically around where we're going to act. So they go from being in the slums doing their thing into attacking.
So, question for the first part, with the sneaking in people into are you sneaking in the entire battalions, or just like advanced troops and stuff like that, like your own personal guards and personal like what is the scale of the amount of people that you're trying to bring?
We are sneaking in what would look like we are disguising them as people who would be manning a spice storage facility. So whatever the appropriate amount of people to man a spice storage facility, which I assume is probably the breaching troops, some of our house guard, which would make complete sense to have there because it's now our resource, and probably several of the other houses, people disguised as workers. So a lot of as many troops as it would look to be sensible. Not like, we put 50 people here. Way more along the lines of, there's like 35, 40 folks. It's not a big deal. But then positioning the other troops around the area in different positions so that they can move in when the time comes. So it's a lot of people most of our forces are kind of fanned out in the slums, fanned out in the other area. They mostly probably look like spy units, which isn't anything out of the ordinary. And given the fact that not all of them are flying our house colors, it's not crazy.
So then,
unless somebody else has a different tactic they would like to employ in this particular situation, I'm open to listening to things. The Mentat might have an aerial view that is a good idea.
I mean,
but given we're going as a lightning strike and not a sustained siege, so.
Exactly. No, I think what you're doing, I mean, I don't really have anything to add, no.
Okay.
So, alright. So, getting into this plan, first of all, I would like Ms. Ellie to roll me...
Yes?
Let's say communicate at difficulty 2. Let's say difficulty 3, actually, because this is you looking to buy a facility that is very close to, your enemy's base. And, even though the reasoning is innocuous and everything like that, it's still going to send those, like, flags of like, oh, I don't like this. They're gonna be right there. Cause like again, at this point, they're like everybody knows what's up. But
Yeah.
so it's a little tricky. But again, you do have I want to say, is it 3 momentum because there's 3 people here?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
So you have 3 momentum.
I'm gonna use
and
one.
You can buy. Okay, and you can buy extra dice by giving me threat. Just saying. Just saying. That's fine.
I think I'm good with 3. I think.
Okay.
Well,
Well, it's difficulty
yeah,
three.
I think I'm good with. Yeah. You know what? Since I've never risked it before, I'll give you a threat.
Yeah.
And I have diplomacy as a focus, so I'm using it.
Yes.
I feel like that
Definitely.
works.
Definitely. Because you're putting people at ease, etc., etc.
Do you have any assets or traits you might want to add to that as well?
I mean,
because you have didn't you take blackmail material?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. I mean, you mentioned something about that at some point in time. I was like, I thought you took blackmail.
Nope.
All right. Oh,
I got the 3 though. I got the 3, but I also got a 20.
Awesome. Ooh, okay. So there's a complication. Ooh, excellent. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for those who are joining in the 2d20 system, you look to combine your skill and your drive, and the idea is to roll at least 2d20s to hit under the thing that you are trying to do. If you roll a 20, that is this system's version of a critical failure, so a complication arises. So in this case, I'm going to say that, yes, you are able to acquire the facility that you want, and it is very much exactly what you're looking for. You do have storage and stuff like that, or at least orange colored powder that looks enough like spice to pretend that it is spice. But the downside is that you gain the trait this facility has the trait suspicious, because you weren't particularly subtle, sadly, about negotiating for this thing, and your reasoning for wanting to have it at this particular point in time has been like, it's the equivalent of, I just imagine Cassandra's like, well, I like spice and I got a lot, and you should just, like, there's no reason that I need it right now. Like, it's just, I want it because I'm a noble and you should give it to me. But obviously in Cassandra speak, and not just my lolzy TLDR. But yeah, so basically, the Evanesque are aware that you have purchased this spot, and it is safe to assume there are eyes on it, because again, it has that suspicious quality. Now then, Chase, you have the opportunity with your mentatting skill. I will let you roll. Let's say we will do a move action, because you can attempt to remove that trait by and we'll say it's at another difficulty 3. But if you succeed, you can remove the suspicious trait and make it seem like, add more legitimacy to this operation by forging the right cover stories, by, creating the most convincing orange powder, all of these things.
Cool. So I'm gonna, because I have intense study, use understand anyway,
Yes.
and roll. I go with what would you argue duty, or 'cause that's very much fits my statement.
Yeah, I think duty would be great. And what is your statement again?
It says what must be done must be done.
Excellent. And then also, should you mess up this roll, you can spend that determination because of your drive statement to reroll. So you have that in your back pocket as a heads up. But yeah, are you going to be spending momentum or buying threat?
I'll spend 1 momentum.
Okay, so you should be down to 2, I believe.
Yes.
Now we're down to 1.
Yeah.
So then.
Because I used 1.
So 3 dice. Okay. Would I have focus on this?
What is your focus?
Well, I have 2 of them for understand: danger sense and deductive reasoning.
Ooh. I like danger sense. Because, like, my thought there is that this is literally you seeing all the possibilities that somebody, could view this as a harmful or suspicious activity, and you are, because you understand that so completely, you know how to put that at ease. That is my thought. So I will allow that.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, then 3 dice that. Okay.
Awesome!
Nice.
Okay, cool. So you have met the thing, and again, while there, and so basically, you create enough of these documents and identities that, like, it is just a bureaucratic nightmare for anybody to question the authenticity of this gesture, and the very idea that, so even while some people, because it wasn't you didn't get the extra success over, so while some people may, like, still be like, okay, this is hella suspicious that you're putting a spot right next to our house, nobody wants to sort through all of the paperwork and stuff you have generated to make a stink of it. It's just too much work. It's no, like, all right, we will stare, we will squint in their general direction, but we're not going to do anything. Like, that's what you have done. So we're removing the suspicious trait from this advanced thing. And
bureaucracy to the rescue.
yes. And because of that, Paul, if you can make me a move test to actually get people in there, I'm going to say the difficulty is 2, because of the actions of your colleagues and doing the hard part. Basically, this is mostly representing, maneuvering people through Carthage in general is kind of dangerous because it is a lawless land. This will
We're gonna say
represent
power and move, I would think. Is that only justice?
Yeah,
I mean, I'll take duty, but power seems the most appropriate.
I would say either power or duty, whatever you think is stronger.
Well, I will take duty. I would like to use my surveillance asset to move my people at the right time when their eyes are not looking. to lower the
Ooh,
difficulty
I like that.
to 1.
Yes, I will allow that.
All right.
Awesome!
3 successes. So I will
Hell
get us
yeah.
back a thing.
2 momentum gained.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah. So yeah, you were able to, again, with your advanced with your knowledge that you had secured before of their troop placements and, you know, the general patrols and stuff like that, you are able to discreetly get everybody where they need to go, so everything is in place, you know, when it comes to be go time.
I would like
will
to
say
burn one of. I was going to say I would like to burn one of those momentum we just got to for the trait reinforced, so that all our people and our reinforcements are in place when the attack begins.
Excellent, definitely. And then I will also say, while the heads of the 2 noble houses are going to be hanging out with Zev, watching the battle unfold, because I assume you wouldn't kick them out, considering their people are also down there. Ali and Raul, you guys do have Tharsha and Rand as like the generals overseeing, you know, their things. So consider them as resources too. You know, again, Tharsha is a Bene Gesserit fighter, and Rand is a another Ginaz swordsman. So super fun stuff to play with.
I will actually ask Tharsha to stay with Cassandra wherever Cassandra is at, because I will not physically be there, and I will just take. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna take Rand with me to the front and use that resource where it's best suited, and have him lead the breaching squads, because he knows what he's doing with his own people. Because having him lead his own people in that situation is the smartest option.
Okay.
100%.
Awesome. So yeah, so basically, you guys are in place. I'm gonna say, you know, your base is within, like, how close do you want it to be? Like, do you want it to be within a mile, a couple miles? Like what feels comfortable for the main base?
For your supply place, probably for our staging ground, probably within 1.5 miles if we can get that close.
Okay, cool.
The closer we are, the less suspicious it'll look when we move 1 or 2 things around, you know. So I would say within 1.5 miles.
Basically, what you would notice is, you know, as you're getting everything into place, I am going to spend do I spend 1 or 2 threat to add a trait? I don't remember. Okay, I'm going to spend 2 threat that I have. Thank you guys. To basically say that, you know, as you are leading, you know, getting into place and getting set up planet side, the Evanesque begin. There is a geyser, not a geyser, but like there are, they create water and start, like there are people who start just handing out water from like fountains and stuff to the people in the slums. And this creates a major obstacle in front of the main gate. So I am adding the trait crowded. for the scene in front, for the zone of the main gate. So basically, there are a bunch of civilians who are scrambling to acquire, water from these like little like fountains that are coming up. It is kind of a massive chaos of just people fighting each other to try to like grab it, because again, like, it is a situation where on Arrakis, water is so precious and so rarely seen, that all of you know that this has to be like thousands of Solari worth of expense, just to create this spectacle. But it is very effective because there are so many people just climbing over each other to like get to this spot where you guys need to go.
Cool. Sounds fine. I'm gonna subvert. You know that sapping I had mentioned that we were doing there?
Mhm.
Instead of using that as a backup thing, we're just gonna divert that into the tunnel, into their escape tunnels, and come up through those after the shield comes down as now.
Okay.
Part of the change of the plan, because we are aware of the house's escape tunnels, so we will do that. We will use, I will redistribute some of the troops and use the main gate troops as much more of a diversionary force and send a larger force through their escape tunnels, and the Thopters will probably make 2 runs for ground troops rather than just 1 after their Thopters have been... I will prioritize using our Thopters to take out their Thopters after the shield goes down, so that our Thopters can make a second run of troops afterwards.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So then, I guess that's my next question is, kicking this off. Are you, like, what all is happening? Like, are you going to be, leading people to the escape tunnels from the first thing? Or, like, because again, the main zones from the outside are, the house shield generator, the fortress itself, the or sorry, the main gate, the escape path, and the main hangar. Sorry, I forgot when I was listening zones before, that the house itself is its own zone. But
So my plan is to use a small diversionary force at the main gate, like some of those people. After the shield goes down, direct our Thopters to take out their Thopters ASAP, so they have no air support. And after that, we will just use the sapping tunnel. We'll just use the tunnels with sapping to bypass and move directly to the house. So I assume it would be a subtle move into the tunnels, bold move for the Thopters, and I guess bold move on the main gate as a distraction based upon how the combat system works, because we want them to respond to that.
Correct. And then also,
but that will be several turns worth of actions.
Yes. Okay. So I guess then let's move into initiative, if everybody's okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. Do we want to explain to people how this crazy narrative system works?
Okay. So basically, again, the 2d20 system is all about, and especially with Dune, is creating a more narrative aspect to combat. So essentially what happens with initiative is the players go first. You will nominate somebody among yourselves to take the first action. It can be a move action, battle action, etc. For this first part, we are in that kind of warfare aspect. So again, you guys have resources, and abilities, and assets that you can maneuver outside of your character specifically. And again, you can also utilize actions to help each other. And those will, lower difficulty and stuff like that. If you have any specific assets, those will also lower the difficulty of the various challenges. So you go first, then it goes to me, and I counter. And then you can choose to spend momentum to keep the initiative to have somebody else go instead of me. So basically, if you want to try to take someone out real fast, you can spend that momentum to act before the enemy does. But in doing that, it does raise the difficulty by 1. So as a heads up. What Paul was referencing as far as the move actions, a subtle move is one where you're being quiet, stealthy, sneaky, etc. You're being careful and aware of your surroundings. So the cool thing about subtle moves is that it reduced the cost to keep the initiative to 0, instead of spending 2 points of momentum or giving threat. Because remember, and I encourage you to please give me threat, because it makes everything more fun and exciting. If you move in a bold way, this is where you're doing your, super flashy, like, we are flying out of our ornithopters and diving in the cool superhero pose kind of thing. If you move in a bold way, you can move an opponent's asset because you are specifically looking to draw attention to the thing you are doing, and you're forcing your opponent to respond, which is pretty cool too. With that in mind, who is going first to do a thing?
I have one question.
Yes.
How are we using Theron in this scenario? Is Theron an asset to be moved, or is Theron considered to be another player character on the board taking an action?
I'm going to say, for the purposes of my own sanity, in that I don't want to be playing both sides, that I am letting you use them as an asset to maneuver in the same way that you can maneuver Rand and Tharsha as well.
Okay. Then my go-to would be to subtle move into the tunnels as the opener, and then have Theron subtle move to dismantle the shield, and then bold move at the front gate to draw attention.
Okay.
Unless people have a better idea.
Nope, I'm good with that.
Okay. So you're doing oh, wait a second. Is that 3 actions or?
It'd be 2 subtles and a bold, but we can only take 2 subtles first. So we'll start with those 2. I would actually have. I'll go ahead and make the subtle move for moving into the sapping tunnels, but I'll have Zev move Theron as the subtle move using their cool abilities, because they have an overview of the battle.
Yes.
That might be useful for them.
Okay. So, I will say, for moving into the tunnels, it will be a difficulty of 3, just because it is harder to again maneuver with the various obstacles and stuff in your way, and this is a spot that is very guarded, or not guarded, but at least surveilled.
Okay.
All right.
Fine. I will go ahead and pop 1 momentum to roll 3. I do have a strategy spec for battle, so that'll help.
Excellent.
So I assume I can use duty again, or do I need to use power instead? Because this is definitely one of those situations where that is up to you as the DM.
For this one, I will say power, because this is specifically, you are looking to secure the best advantage, and willing to take that risk to, get the superior result. Damn.
I will take my 4 successes and
hell yeah.
Do that.
And you get that other momentum, so you don't lose the momentum. It's back. It's
Nice.
rad. So yeah, you please describe to me like how you were getting in your people into the into these tunnels.
So we the sapping we were doing in the other facility, which if you're unfamiliar with, is digging a tunnel under the ground to engage in siege style warfare. We'll do the classic like leak into the tunnels, like somebody will like poke a little hole and wait for a guard to go by, and then as soon as they're done, they'll collapse the wall out and people will slowly start to slink into the tunnels. And then before the guard can make their way back through, they'll catch a knife in the back and we'll all start to stealthily move through the tunnel area, moving to the rear of the house that we are coming out where they would be escaping to when the bold action of the gate event will occur. But that is not yet. The asset of the enemy I would like to move.
Well, no, you only get to move with the bold action.
Oh, that's right. With the bold action, we move their asset.
Yes.
So yes, no, we did nothing we want to move. So we'll subtly, and then it'll go to Zev, who has been informed that we are in position inside the house tunnels.
I assume since you did the subtle move that you want to keep your initiative because it is cost 0 now. Okay. So yeah, Zev, you are maneuvering, giving Theron the lead on where to go, right?
Yeah, I'm using my version of whatever the action is in this sequence to position Theron according to information relayed from Raul.
Cool. So I will say, given that you have the intangible asset of the security codes, and Theron is the literal shapeshifter, that this is a difficult move 1 test. So hooray for low difficulty.
Oh, so okay. I would like to use discipline with my focus on espionage.
This is definitely espionage.
It is espionage, but why discipline?
That's where it is in the book.
All right. Yeah, sure, I'll allow it.
Okay. I would still argue that this would again be duty based on the circumstances, especially for Zev.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. So, he's all right. Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh,
wow.
No!
That is the first one I failed this entire campaign.
But
push that.
You get it.
Use your drive.
Yeah. So yeah, you can spend a point of determination to use your drive statement to re-roll. Also, gain an AP. Gain an AP, please, because you did fail, and in failure we learned things, which is another thing I really like about the Dune TTRPG, is because even when you botch rules, you still get something out of it, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So let's try that again. I'll use my point of determination. And re-roll.
That's much sexier.
Hell
That's
yeah.
much sexier.
I go from nothing to 4.
Yes. And that's 3 more momentum. Let's see. If you want to spend 2 of those momentum, I will allow it, again, because this is that critical success, I will allow it to be that Theron can successfully stage an accident on that shield generator.
Oh, I think that's worth it. Yes, Raul?
Yeah.
Okay,
Completely
definitely.
destroying it versus just turning it off is much better.
I agree.
It is not going to be completely destroyed. It is going to be sabotaged, but it would take time to fix.
This isn't going to take
It
that
is
long.
removed.
Still better.
Correct.
Is it removed as an
Correct.
asset from the field from the enemy? That is what is important to the situation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's more just explaining that it's one of those things where, like, after shit goes down, provided it doesn't get completely destroyed, it could be something that you guys could salvage as an asset of your own. Because it can be repaired. Which is neat. Because I assume, like players of any sort of role-playing game system, that looting is definitely something that is on everybody's mind once the battle is done.
Take everything that's not nailed down and some things that are.
Basically, I'm also going to say, Zev, that you have a direct feed from, like, Theron's eyes. So you can see as they subtly maneuver, and I imagine, it is that sort of situation where you can't help but feel a level of increased respect for them, because this is their element. And again, like, the side of them that you have seen is that, sort of shy and demure, somewhat submissive person. But in this moment, they are confident. They are easily maneuvering through these fields, answering the questions that needed. They are, all the security codes are entered in perfectly. There is an instance where, someone asks, has a moment of suspicion, and, without skipping a beat, the next instant their neck is snapped. And they are quietly dragged, to, like, a closet or whatever to, like, be hidden. You see as they make their way easily, to the shield generator, and very, make up some excuse that, like, they have shifted guises and look more like an engineer now. They make some excuse about how they have to inspect, there's been some stuttering or something like that, which is not an uncommon thing, again, on Arrakis, as sand gets everywhere, and especially with, machine components, like, they are prone to breakage and failure. And, they go under, and suddenly the thing starts smoking. And yet, when the teams go to investigate, suddenly, they're not there, and are somewhere else, because, again, you rolled incredibly well and spent that momentum. So, from the outside, Cassandra, Raul, you can see that shield sort of flicker and then fade, as the fortress is no longer shielded.
Well, I believe Cassandra can. I'm in a tunnel.
Yes.
That's fair.
So
I would communicate it to you, though.
Yes.
Since there is that was because that was another subtle move, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. And you can only do 2 of them, right?
Correct.
Okay.
You can only go back to back twice.
Is
always the opponent's turn.
leading? Is Cassandra leading the bold action of the the distraction force, or are you setting it up so you're in that architect spot in the staging ground? Like, are you personally leading troops?
Honestly, at this juncture, I think that she would actually lead the bold action herself.
Awesome. So then, if you can please roll me difficulty 2. And are you using the are you using your own house guards to do this? Are you using the troops from Visperous or Adar, or like some combination?
Had we positioned them previously any specific place? I probably would use the oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I believe Raul had mentioned that you set up the Visperous shock troops mostly around the like in the little spice facility that you guys got. But there are again, you have everybody is within easy rallying distance thanks to that reinforced trait that Raul added to the scene.
Okay. And you said that was the Vesperis ones that were positioned that way? Or was it the Adar?
Yes, but if you also want the Adar troops, they are easily available.
Yeah, I put the Vesperous shock troopers because they're designed for breach and clear operations up there to do breach and clear things.
Okay. Yeah, the Vesperis is fine.
Okay. So because Visperous is also a +1 asset, that reduces the difficulty to a move 1.
Excellent. I'll see here. I'll use duty because it has it works for this, and it has a great statement for this purpose as well. How are we doing on momentum?
We have 3 currently.
Okay, I'll use 1. All right. And I don't have any foci for this, so that's 2.
Got 1 back.
Awesome.
We get the 1 back.
Hell yeah. So yeah, describe to me how is Cassandra leading these forces? Like, what does she look like? How is she preparing for battle? Like, give me this narrative. Is she saying anything to rally everybody? Is she saying anything to call out, the enemy? Like, you are at this gate.
All right. Well, aside from probably giving a short speech before they make that move, as soon as the shield comes down, I think her exact response would be something along the lines of, this is the moment when we put an end to this. Something like just pulling off the top of my head here.
How are you also overcoming the obstacle of the civilians? Because it is crowded. Question. Yeah.
It is crowded.
Now you did pass the move, so just describe to me like how are the troops like getting like again.
Okay.
You have a few different options for how one goes through a mass of people.
Well, I think she'd have it'd be kind of a formational thing. The having a formation that could easily kind of wedge through and disperse the crowd as it moves forward would be kind of I think a good action here. Not I think she would stress like, do not hurt these people, but move them aside. So having that kind of wedge to kind of shove through would be a good action there. As far as how she'd be in a fairly prominent position within the group, just so she could easily keep an eye on things around them, call out orders as need be, but also just kind of that sort of key placement. And presently, as far as dress goes, she is in that very kind of much more practical attire. Her hood's actually probably thrown back at the moment, just so people can get a clear view of her face. And she's got, weapons drawn. She's ready to go if anything gets to her. So it's probably a very different Cassandra that anyone present has seen so far. It's very like she is slipping into that role of military leader that I think few people have actually seen her take thus far. So very, very, very matter of fact, very concise, clear, sharp commands being given as they march forward.
Excellent. Tharja, for her part, is just the epitome of, being that liquid shadow. Like, she is by your side, and just completely, like, she moves with you, and seems to completely, like, be on the same wavelength you are, like, without you needing to say anything, because of just the, again, that Bene Gesserit mastery of self, and just the complete understanding of how people work and where they go and how that all happens. I will say, though, since your troops are taking care to be, gentle. I mean, not gentle, but like taking the care with the civilians, that does escalate the situation a little bit, because they do have to divide their focus to like making sure people aren't getting hurt. So that will give me an extra threat, just because, again, like, it represents that sort of, we are taking the care to be humane, not terrible, and accepting the risk that comes with that because of it, which is great. So
it's what she do. So
hell yeah. And again, like we're all having fun with fighting in this battle. So yeah, now the players have gone and done their action.
She does get to move that asset, because that was a bold action.
That's right. So what are you moving? In the main gate zone, they have artillery and a infantry.
And I'm moving one of those.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. And is that wait? Am I? Okay. So this
you get to
this
move
abstract thing is a little
people.
confusing.
Yeah. You get to move one of their assets into another zone. So you can remove the infantry from the same zone you're in, so you don't have to fight them. You can place them somewhere else.
Or you can move the artillery in some way.
Yeah. I'm gonna move the artillery, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
So basically, like, again, the zones as they're set up are the area around the shield generator, the main gate where you are, the escape path where Paul is, the main hangar where their own ornithopters are, as well as the house itself. So where would you, which zone would you have the artillery moved?
Because presumably this isn't me taking control of the artillery. This is them.
No.
The artillery being relocated to a different spot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have provoked an action. So basically, for example, like, if you chose the infantry, you can draw them to you to have them engage with your guys in hand-to-hand combat as a way to, like, pull them out of that area, so that way, you know, it draws the bulk of those forces so Paul's people can get in the inside.
Actually,
Or, you know, if you're moving the artillery, like, it can be that thing where, you know, they realize, like, some other area needs to be defended and pull back, or something like that, you know. So, like, it just depends on what you're looking to do.
Moving the artillery to the shield generator totally makes them useless. They have to move back before they can really do anything at that point in time.
yeah.
Or they take higher difficulty. Or you can pull the infantry to you, but I think I have a force good enough to deal with that. I'm not super worried about engaging with
Okay.
with them.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and move the artillery to the shield generator zone then.
Yeah, so what you see is basically a response, like it goes, like you hear these shouts of, you know, the shield is down, we have to prepare for attack, like, cover us while we get it up as soon as possible. And, you know, you see the heavy gunners, you know, grabbing their set equipment to pull back towards where the shield generator is, while the troops, the infantry troops, move in to defend the fill in those holes in the in the defense of the main gate. So let us get then to what they're doing to respond. I'm going to say that let me get back here. Okay. Paul, we are gonna have us a skirmish. As you're in the tunnels now, like, you know, there is a small force that you know, was, I imagine, like, is that reserve guard to, like, help, you know, the escapees be covered and protected. Obviously they are surprised by you guys showing up, so, you know, that reduces the difficulty of you know, engaging with them. But they are going to fight you.
Sure.
So we're gonna do a battle action with that. Let's see. Okay. Is it just literally like
A skirmish would shrink down the combat to be smaller. I assume you just want them to make a battle action against me inside the tunnels instead.
Correct.
Because we do not want to.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
So, yeah, because I'm just like, and it's basically that I roll and then that determines the difficulty for you, right?
Well, it depends on what asset you're targeting or what you would like to do. Like in this particular case, I would try to use my men-at-arm asset, which is a 2 level asset. So it would be a 4 difficulty test for you that would go into extended challenge. And then I, in response to that, would know their difficulty, and I'd need to roll to defeat them before they defeated my asset that one time.
Okay. Let's see. I am not going to spend threat. So, let me roll my dice. Whoops. Oops. I picked up a D8 instead. That is not a D20.
That is definitely really good in this system.
Okay. So I got 3 successes, as these are level 1 household guard kind of troops.
Cool.
And so if you
so my men-at-arm would be would be struggling with them. But we'd
Yes.
have to do another round of combat before my people would be defeated, which I would have a counterpoint to be able to
Yes.
roll against them between then and then.
Correct.
And that is totally fine. Cool. What else
I
you got for other people?
Yeah, so then, let's see. So for, let's say, Zev, I would like you to, we're gonna say that we're gonna have, because of the explosion, it's gonna be, people are obviously hunting for the saboteur. So I'm gonna have the interior guards do a discipline roll, let's say, to try to see if they can find Theron. I got 1 success. So we will say that basically when you are looking to maneuver them again, it'll be an increased difficulty of 1, because that will represent that it's getting harder to move around freely. And then for Ellie, we are going to have, again, the main guard troops are preparing for an assault. They are seeing your forces there. They are seeing that they are engaged in stuff. So they are going to start shooting at the civilian populace you are trying to protect with solid projectile weapons.
All right. Okay.
So this will add, obviously, increased. So let's see what I roll. Ooh, I got a critical success. So basically, I'm gonna say this adds a new trait to the scene, which is panic. As the civilians are freaking the fuck out, as they just came for some water. Everybody was excited and scared and happy, but because they were getting water. And then all of a sudden these guards show up and start moving them out of the way, and now they're getting fired upon. So it is the move will be a difficulty 1 increase, because this represents now you have people screaming and fleeing and trying to do everything they possibly can to get the fuck out of there.
All right. So with the so that puts it back up to
So basically that is the end of the first round. So now it is the player action again. So you guys can talk amongst yourselves to nominate who's going next.
So I don't think we're gonna double subtle again. So it's gonna be back and forth. I would like to go first to deal with the guard unit I'm dealing with, because I do not want them to roll again to defeat my men, because that would be the strategic thing, would be her to go first and then take out my asset. So I would like to try to deal with that before it happens. If that's cool with everybody.
That's
It's
fine by me.
necessary.
Yeah. I will use a momentum to add a trait to the tunnel fighting scene as a lightning strike, so that we have the advantage for being on the offensive.
Okay. So not
As
actual
we did- as you did.
physical lightning.
No,
Just
the
like
concept of
that-
a lightning
that-
strike. That's
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to use the word blitzkrieg. That's what I was avoiding.
I mean, you could say surprise, like surprise
Mhm.
advantage or something like that. That's fine.
Well, you said they were surprised already, so I was going to go with lightning strike.
Yeah, sorry.
For that. And then Let's see. Does having ran with me add anything else to this particular situation? As he and I can try to cut a swath through these individuals?
Yeah. I will say he gives you a +1 since this is melee.
I will take that. And then I'll go ahead and spend one more momentum, because I'm going to be greedy apparently this time, and spend 2. Hoping to get most of it back, because if he gives me a bonus die and the difficulty is dropped due to the new trait, I have these guys are at difficulty 3. I get to roll 4 dice for this, so I will try to take advantage of that. I assume this is another power. Roll.
Yes.
Okay. So I will achieve 4 successes on a 2 success rate.
Yes.
Nice. So I will return the 2 momentum I spent, which is good stuff right there.
Yes. I will say though that 18 gives you a little bit of a complication, which is that, there is that success, but some of your guys are wounded,
Sure.
because this is close quarters combat. It is hard. So represent that how you will, with as far as it will remove a little bit of your you won't get the same trait advantage in the next round, just because again it represents that reduction in forces.
Yeah, so moving forward, my guys are asset 1, no longer asset 2. But I believe I did defeat them because you said they were in an asset 1 group, so the difficulty was only 3. So they have been thoroughly defeated at the cost of a reduction of my P. Wait, isn't an 18 only a difficulty 3 complication? I figured I would ask. Yes, because it's 20 for. I could be wrong, but I thought it was 18 was when you were at difficulty 3.
Yeah, and you were at difficulty 3.
I was at 2.
Right.
I reduced it using the trait.
Were you? Oh,
yes,
okay. I'm sorry then.
I purposely reduced it using the trait.
Okay, then never mind. I'm sorry.
No, you would be completely correct in the initial challenge. That's why I was sneaky with my momentum usages.
All right, awesome. So basically, again, you are in these tunnels. At this point, you have worked your way through the reserve troops successfully. Your men are patching themselves up. Do you have the doctor with you?
Yeah, I would have taken him with me.
Okay.
No, I would have left the doctor. I take that back. I would have left the doctor with Cassandra because she is more important. But I will have them use their doctor's supplies that they were given before the battle to patch themselves up as best they can.
Sweet.
Are there any assets in this zone I can move? Because this is clearly a bold move and not a subtle move.
I will say, again, you have, in this space, there is the reserve ornithopter. There are supplies, some weapons and ammo. There are,
I would like to gain control of the reserve ornithopter at this point in time.
Okay.
If I could. Yes. If I can do that with my action, I would like to remove that asset from their ability to use it to escape.
I will say if you want to take complete control, I would like you to spend a momentum for that. But otherwise, yes, it is feasible.
Do you guys feel a momentum for the ornithopter is worth it? I will ask the group out of character okay.
Yeah, it should be fine. How many do we have?
We have 3 again because I rolled 4 successes on a 2 difficulty.
Right.
So we'll have 2 going into whoever's next turn. All right. So we've maintained control of the ornithopter, and they do not have access to that trait, and I have destroyed the reserve guard. So 2 assets have been removed from the board in this particular one action that I have taken.
Awesome.
So
and now
it is to the storytellers.
Do you want to spend momentum to keep initiative, or give me threat to keep initiative, or are you passing it?
No. I am fine passing it to you in this example, unless everybody else would like to spend the momentum to keep the initiative, because I think at this point in time, letting you have an action is fine. I think the immediate threat of us losing in the tunnels has been dealt with, and that is what is important to me for the moving forward scenario.
Yes. Definitely. Okay, so, let's see. We are going to have then, the infantry attack, Cassandra, or at least the, guards of Vespris. And let's see. Oh, dang, they rolled really bad. Okay.
There's some complications
so
there?
They managed
Did they
to
trip
do,
over their own feet?
They got one success, but they also got a complication, because I rolled a nat 20. So basically what happens is, I'm going to say that what happens is that again they fire at everybody, and because the Vespris troops in particular are not shielded, they are armored, because they are basically just the beefy tanky boys that go forward into these things, and so like they lose the one thing, but because of the panic in the scene that has already happened, some of the civilians like decide to again rally because they're seeing what's happening, and they launch themselves at the people or at the troops in just this total like brawl of like fuck you fascist dicks. So while they are getting cut down in the process of this, this is they are able to hold a focus and add that reduction, so this makes them difficulty 2 to take out instead of difficulty 3, because this is just like people are literally taking to rocks. This is a riot. So yeah, now it's your guys' turn.
Well, shall I go ahead and try to remove them from the board?
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah, because right now there's not a good place for me to move Theron. Yeah, worry about the infantry.
I mean, you can also move
Alright.
the ornithopters as well when you get a chance.
That's true.
All right. Then I will go ahead and do that. So with them being reduced to difficulty 2 to remove, does that take into account the bonus that I get from the Vespris troops, or not?
I'm sorry?
No. I
No,
think so.
it doesn't.
So that didn't take that into account.
No,
Okay.
so it's going to be a 1, actually.
It's going to be a 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
I'll
starting
still
to
go ahead
understand
and
this
use
a little bit.
Yeah, I'll still go ahead and use momentum. What do I need to roll for this then, since I'm moving to try to remove them from play?
Battle.
Perfect.
And it's probably a battle power roll.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I'll use 3 dice. I have a short blades focus. That could
Are
help.
you waiting in the combat with everybody?
I'll allow that
I'll-
because
I'll get stabby. I don't.
Yeah.
Somebody clip that,
Are
please.
you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
What do you haven't done earlier?
Oh.
I will. I have a statement.
Determination.
Determination. Power is a
Oh my
Power is a
God.
double-edged blade.
That is true. That is quite
Uh,
literally that is why you picked that statement.
Yes.
That is incredible.
And that allowed that. So I just re-roll.
Yeah.
Or what do I re-roll here? What do I do?
All of them. You can re-roll all of them.
All of them in this case, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. How? 3. Yes. Work with me here.
Oh my
Ooh,
God.
much better.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
And no complication.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so describe to me how you are, again, defeating these troops. What does this look like?
Well, as the civilians start to turn on them, Cassandra will, basically use that to their advantage, because suddenly these guys aren't just worrying about, keeping us at bay by firing into the crowd. Suddenly they've got, civilians with rocks and shit coming up at them. So, Cassandra will call for call to charge in, press the charge, run in with this, run in the wake of the civilians, and just start stabbing, basically. So she has that formation, slice inward and hit that line of guards with the solid projectile weapons, and she'll move in with them herself and start because as she's fighting, we're talking about Bene Gesserit combat. She is flowing through these guys and just laying about with her knife, laying throats open and sinking them into vital organs and stuff like that, while the Vesperus guards do their thing.
Oh man.
No quarter on these guys.
So what I will say is, that's incredible. For my action, because I'm assuming you guys don't want to keep the initiative, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How many women do we have total with the 2 she just
We're at 3.
gained us?
I think
We
3.
have a total
Okay.
of 3.
You could seize it and do something if you want with it. It's up to you, buddy.
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything pressing at the moment, so that's fine.
So you are going to. I'm going to use a move to try to get ornithopters in the air to provide covering fire for these houses, dudes breaching the gate. Oh, okay. So, because I rolled another nat 20, but I got a success. Well, I got a critical
Ornithopters
success.
crash into each other.
Yeah. So actually, what happens is, they start to launch, the ornithopters. They're doing so in a hurry, in a panic, and unfortunately, because they are so hurried, one of them does crash into another one, destroying it. But one manages to get into the sky and is in a spot where it can provide that covering fire before Cassandra's troops get into the base. Because while those of you who are shielded will not have a problem with solid projectile weapons, the civilians and the troops of Vesperus are not shielded. So that is a note to keep in mind. Although, the Vesperus troops are armored, so it'll be harder for them to be, hit with these things. It is stuff to keep in mind. Back to you guys. What are you looking to do?
Where are our ornithopters at this point?
Where do you want them to be? Like, I imagine, like, nobody's launched them yet. But that would be a great time to... You are reinforced because of that trait that Paul added. So they are easily launchable within a distance that you know, and can get to the scene with a move action.
Yeah, let's use my action to bring our ornithopters onto the board and keep theirs busy as much as possible.
We'll call that a
or however that works.
Difficulty to move, please. And I feel like power would be the better one for this case, just because, you know, again, it is that using that force to destroy another.
Okay. I'm gonna buy one extra dice with a momentum. Unbelievable with this game.
Oh no.
Sometimes.
Oh my god. Oh boy. All right. So, we're going to say, because that is 2 complications. Holy moly. So, let's see. I'm going to say, because I can turn one of those complications into a threat generator, right?
Correct. You can turn
Or to
any
just-
complication into a threat if you so wish.
Okay.
And you currently have one
So-
threat, as we just clarified.
Yes. So I'm going to say that basically because you didn't meet the threshold, the threshold to get them launched is basically a situation where you know, it will happen. It's just not going to happen this round. You know, so you need to do another move action next turn. To just so this is the case where, you know, it's like Star Wars where they're fueling up the wings and stuff, and again, you know, the chaos in the situation has made it a bit more difficult. I will take the 2 complications, I think, and turn them into threat for myself, because I think that would be more fun than just removing some of the asset.
Sure.
Because I want you guys to have a sky battle, and I think that would be fun. So yeah, give me back 2 of them threat. And
You're
yeah,
taking
it's
both of them as threat, or just one of them?
I think both of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright. So no massive destruction of our ornithopters. They just low on the fuel.
Yeah, they need to be beefed up and ready to go.
Whoever was in
so
charge of fueling those things up beforehand needs to be airlocked, I think.
Damn. Wow. So now, did you guys want to spend to keep the moment or keep initiative, or pass it to me?
We will pass it. I mean, we've all gone, so we'll pass it to you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Nope.
So
I don't know
basically,
how many more things you would like to do.
I'm going to have that ornithopter open fire on those troops. Ugh. 2 successes. So that,
Vesper's troops are still around.
yes, I believe that puts them at what, 1?
Yeah, you need one more success and you'll have defeated them.
Yes. Cool. So basically, again, the ornithopter basically launches like a missile, and it blows a decent chunk into some of your troops, and the civilians at this time are leaving. So I'm gonna also say that obstacle is they're either leaving or dead. So that obstacle is now removed. That trait is removed from the board, so you no longer have to deal with the panic and the crowdedness. But it is a very scary and precarious situation. So I believe that's the end of this round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has everybody gone?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So top of the order, who's going? What are you doing?
My go-to would be to have Cassandra take control of the ornithopters, use the lightning strike trait that I added last turn to have them come in and bold action to move the other ornithopters out of the zone if you need to, if you don't defeat them.
I'm down with that.
So
That
to
seems
move the
most pressing.
ornithopter from where, from the secret path, to the gate.
I mean, they're not the ornithopters weren't on a not my ornithopter, the ones that Jace scared them to play.
Okay.
Just
Gotcha. Okay.
and use
So,
those. Take command and cover those. So that's the better attack roll with that situation. So have
Okay.
Cassandra go first
so
and be
the-
like direct traffic.
The bold move of bringing the Visperous ornithopters, like Cassandra gets on the horn, is just doing the noble thing of like, move your
Calls in the
dumbasses.
airstrike.
Awesome. So yeah, give it to me at difficulty 2, please.
Start or
Alright.
before or after the trade.
That is before the trait, so it would be 1 then
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
with the trait.
And
right?
that's
With the lightning
a
strike
move
trait. Yeah.
test.
Yes,
Mhm.
move. So move plus power, please.
And what the heck? I'll go ahead and use one of those tasty momentum.
Sure.
Because why not? And we get the
I got
momentum
it.
back. So,
Hell yeah.
success. I need that air cover
Alright.
now.
Mhm.
So
I
yeah,
don't know
so
what trait they
basically,
are, but moving them out of your zone is good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, the ornithopters that you have the fast trait. So they are able to get there within, this thing. And you have the, because it is a bold action, you can move the assets in the zone. In this case, the only one remaining is the enemy ornithopter. So where you want to put it?
That's a good question. What do you think, guys? Where would be?
And you can move it back to the airfield and keep pushing our advantage.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I'll shift them back to the airfield.
So basically, I'm gonna say then that your ornithopters show up. They have it is a very much Flight of the Valkyries sort of situation, where this is apocalypse now. They come in just as the sun is rising, and you see like the troops sort of squint, looking, not wanting to look directly into the sun, but like it is just that silhouette of the darkness as these winged vehicles descend towards the fortress. The ornithopter that is being controlled by Evanesque very much takes that moment to look at the odds of what is happening, realizes this is not where they parked their car, and retreats and falls back to, the hangar area where they hope to God there are reinforcements, but, probably have forgotten that, sadly, the complication of losing the reinforcements happened earlier. Maybe they didn't see that. Who knows? It was very loud and chaotic with the battle. So yeah, you guys, I'm going to say, at this point, the path is clear for both Cassandra and Raul to enter the fortress itself. Theron is, I'm gonna say, Zev, if you can make me a move action, we'll say difficulty 2, just to be them, taking on a new disguise to drop that suspicion. That would be great. And otherwise, we will move to the next phase of this.
I would like to use my intent study to swap that out to understand in danger sense, to make sure that to make sure that they are safe as they're doing this. What would that be? Would that be? I actually don't know what the price for this would be.
I'm fine using either power, because again, that, looking to get that strategic advantage, or duty, because you have formed a bond with Theron, and, I imagine are looking to keep them safe as much as,
That's been Zev's primary that's like been my primary concern. This whole thing is making sure that the people that Zev cares about comes out of this alive.
Yeah.
So, okay, then duty. So, understand duty. This was a difficulty 2, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. I already spent 1. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll 2 dice, I guess. Please. Okay.
There you go.
Sweet. Ooh.
That's a critical.
Yeah. So with the 1, because that is cool as heck, I'm going to say that Theron has managed to position themselves as one of the Evanesque courtiers with that are holed up within their personal throne room. So now you have you have the intangible asset of eyes and ears inside the throne room. So well done.
I like that.
And basically, at this time, I think we're going to take a brief break. So that way everybody can, get hydrated, stretch their legs, take any bio breaks, etc. And I want you, the audience watching this, please, we're going to put a poll up very shortly. If you have been impressed with any of our players' roleplay tonight, or the cool actions and ideas that they have done, please vote for the person that you think has been particularly awesome tonight. The votes, whoever wins the poll is going to gain an extra advancement point. The AP is basically the experience of this system, and it helps them buy cooler and better things. So definitely, please do check this out and vote for your favorites. Otherwise, we will see you in about 10 minutes. So yeah, let's commence with the flow. As my book falls over.
Arrakis Dune. A planet that is both a volatile desert wasteland and the most precious jewel in the universe. For it is only on Arrakis where the spice melange can be found. The spice has shaped humanity for a millennia, and it is the foundation that makes interstellar travel possible. Fortunes rise and fall as quickly as the sands shift on Arrakis. It is a place where a smile and a quiet word can cut as easily as a crisp knife, and nothing is what it seems. Welcome to Dune.
It's nice that we got it right at the very end.
All right. Welcome back to the stream, Weavers. We are so excited to be back. Basically, if you are joining us now, we have finished the warfare portion of this combat, and we are now in this space where our players are actually invading the fortress in and of itself. The fortress is it's set up in a way to be both that the intention is both defensiveness and functionality, but with that very Dune eye for aesthetic and opulence. It has it has heavy blast doors that are set up both as a, on top of the armor aspects of it, are also intended to keep the extraordinarily hot desert air of Arrakis out from the facility itself. Because as everybody is aware, when the sun is at its apex, the temperature becomes like far too much for people to endure, at least, for long. The interior courtyard is, again, like, there are a couple scattered trees that are very much that sign of this family has money to spend on keeping something against the odds growing in a space that's inhospitable as this.
Not for much longer.
Right? As Cassandra, as you are making your way over the strewn bodies of both civilian and soldier alike, you know that the path forward is clear for you. Is there anything that you have to say to those who are following you? Tharja kind of quietly surveys the battlefield herself, just kind of looking with like a hint of disgust at just the waste of people that are strewn about in various, mangled woundedness.
Yeah, I think she does have a few words, because I mean she's looking around at the the waste of life, the especially the dead civilians, and I think she's going to say, this, this is the This is the regard they have for the lives of them, the lives of their own people. It's time. It's time to. It's time to put an end to this travesty. And she'll lead her people inside.
The security codes that Theron provided make it easy to get past the gate. Zev, you see in your feed, like, again, just that surprise and reaction of like, what? Like, how do they know? How do they know our own operations? This is impossible. How are the gates not keeping them out? What you see through Theron's eyes, the head of House Evanesque just like calmly surveying what is happening through his own feeds as his advisors are like mucking about. He doesn't seem panicked. He doesn't seem afraid even. This is a person with resolve, and that pure focus of conviction. He with your passive scrutiny, you realize that he is very much not someone who is used to losing. He is very much that person who is a win at all costs kind of person, as evidenced again by firing on the unarmed civilians. You can the halls are eerily empty as you enter into that opening passageway.
How many people are in the room?
So what you see is he has so basically there are a few courtiers, some attendants like fussing about making sure everybody is fed and provided with whatever calming items they need to remain calm. This is very much that kind of Maegor's Holdfast situation from Game of Thrones, where all of the important non-combatants are in one place. You can see and hear the mentat for the house running the numbers down of like how many things are available, how many what the cost of everything is, et cetera, just doing that rote mathematical summation. And that those numbers are not good. Like, they're basically like the stuff that they need is while they may have some traps and surprises within the estate, the maps that they need are not available. Or not maps, but the resources that they need are like too far out to provide reinforcement. And word has also gotten back to them that the group that was overseeing the escape path has not checked in. So the assumption is that that escape path is lost to them as well. Similarly, Raul, you are able to make it up to the main estate as well, going through the tunnels. It is eerily silent like a grave. And you maybe occasionally will see like a servant left behind or something like that who sees you, drops whatever they're doing and runs.
Out of curiosity, based on the conversation that I can hear them having in the room and anything Theron might be able to see, would I be able to use like a combination of my deductive reasoning and my verify to predict where the traps would be to protect Raul's men and Cassandra's entire
Ooh.
forces that are advancing? Because I have an overview of the situation and a layout of the estate.
Roll me understand at 3.
Okay. Would this be truth or duty?
I'm gonna say duty or power. Duty because you're looking to keep your people safe. Power because you want that advantage.
Okay, cool. It's at 3. I will spend a momentum.
And you do lose 1 because this is a new scene, as a heads up. But you had a bunch anyway.
We had 2,
right?
So.
Okay.
All right,
It's
so
all
let's see
good.
here. Please don't do it to me again. Oh God, I am not rolling well tonight at all. Not rolling well tonight at all.
Find him.
So,
Directing us right into those traps, sir, with that complication.
Yeah. Actually, I will say that is exactly what happens, which is because of that 19. Since this is a difficulty 3, it increases like the complication range. What happens is that you understand that there are people in this space who are like, you realize a bit slowly that there are people who are piloting hunter-seeker droids, and you think that based on the context clues that you have given your party members the right path to remain hidden from these hunter-seeker droids. But we're going to go back into combat. I'm going to spend my threat to take the initiative here, because this is a surprise. And yeah. I'm gonna say that the first one is gonna go after I'll hit Cassandra first. Ooh, I got 3 successes.
Ugh.
Let's see. Is there a way, Paul, that she can assist, or is it just that it reduces the shield asset, or?
So she would lose her shield asset in this regard.
Okay.
And because you rolled over and you get 3 successes, you could declare that she took some sort of damage and narrate what type of situation you wanted.
Okay.
I would, unless you wanted to kill her outright, which you're not really supposed to declare characters, but it's very much in those situations where a hunter-seeker clearly got you.
Yes.
But you have a shield.
So I'm going to say this hunter-seeker basically, again, comes out of nowhere and launches an attack on your wrist where your shield generator is, and because there was the criticals, the needle used to destroy it also pierces your skin, sending like chemurgy poison into your system. You feel foggy and slowed. So I'm going to give you the trait slowed, as you're fighting through this chemically induced fog that's affecting your.
The doctor's with her.
What? He is. So on your turn, you can move him.
Okay. Sorry.
Or use that action or whatever. So yeah, which is super, super great and very convenient, you guys. But yeah, so right now you have the slowed
Damn.
condition. So that will.
I had a
give
good
you,
shield too.
Yeah. So
That was my
that'll
best
give you
I can
asset.
that,
afford to replace it.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. So that will give you that one -1 penalty to stuff involving move and battle. Yeah, move and battle. So now it is the PC turn. I assume we want to fix up Cass.
Yes.
Yeah, like because she definitely would have like even if she'd like just noticed it at the last minute, she would have tried to flow out of the way and just not made it.
Yeah.
So it would have janked up her shield, and she probably would have staggered a bit as the whatever chemical poison was in that thing actually entered her system.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely that situation where, like, again, you have, like, it is very likely that your Bene Gesserit training is what saved your life, because instead of it going for your neck, you could reflexively do this.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, let's, if you can, if you want to have the doctor do a thing, if you can roll me like a discipline, I think that'll be super good, and I will give you a focus to represent his focus. We'll say the difficulty is also 3, just because, you know, this is field medicine, this is a very tense situation with this fucking droid running around, and, you know, this is scary.
I do have the doctor's sheet pulled up, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I was about to say, should we use his stats?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
He actually just
medical thing, right?
Weirdly enough, he has the talent Adrenaline Shot, which allows him to remove any one effect from a PC once per scene.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, rad. Okay. There we go.
Do that, yeah.
He can just do that because he's cool like that.
Okay. Fabulous.
So.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, again, like the doctor gets that look in his eye, and you know, and it is very much just that amazing hero moment where, like, you know, you have been used to seeing him as this crazy motherfucker who is, you know, chaotic at best. But in this moment, this is his wheelhouse. You are his charge. You are his patient and his world, and he is completely focused on seeing you through this. He looks into your eyes and, you know, asks you very briefly, like, "Are you with me, my lady?" And, you know, assuming Cassandra nods the assent, he shoves that adrenaline shot right into her heart, pushes the thing, and you feel that surge of power and energy, that vigor, just completely removing the slowness, as, you know, you feel refreshed and alive, and, you know, so much like, oh my god, every system is at peak performance right now. So, yeah, well done. Now, do you want to spend to keep the initiative or pass it back?
We are not giving you more threat. You're down to 1. We'll let you have your
Yeah.
It's your turn again,
You could give
ST.
me more.
No.
You could give me more. It's fine.
No, thank you.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, we're fine.
Yeah.
We're
We're
good.
fine.
We're in consensus. We have reached consensus.
So that leaves the other hunter seeker going after
It does.
Raul.
It does.
All right. I get 1 success.
No, my shield is
targeting. Yeah. Okay.
full. Yeah. No, I put assets points into my things, so my shield is actually it's difficulty 3 for me. So I would like to just pull a classic Dune and snatch that mug right out the air.
Okay. Let's roll that move action then.
Sure.
I'm gonna say difficulty. Yeah, we'll say difficulty 3 because it is a tiny thing.
Okay. So we're having our contested difficulty off here. Is it stuck in my shield and trying to still penetrate it? Do I get the bonus for that asset because it could not penetrate my asset? Or is it failed its attack and immediately jumped out of the way? I just figured I would ask.
What level is your shield anyway?
3, he said.
Yeah,
I
total
will
of 3
allow it
points.
to be
Oh,
because
okay.
I'm gonna say no that it did a dive bomb maneuver just because like I feel like that makes more sense and they are piloted. And also, you know, again, they are terrifying for a reason, and I want that to feel
Sure.
that scariness.
Okay. Well, if they're supposed to be terrifying for a reason, I will not try to super flex, and I will use my friend here from my school to help me out to get that 100 and call it out to him as well.
Yeah.
Because I would rather do that and get this thing out the way. So you said move,
Yes.
move and power, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can get +1 from Rand helping you out with just like looking to
Sounds
swat
good.
it out of the sky.
Yep. That looks like that happens.
Hell yeah! Oh, that's so dope. So basically, I imagine it's one of those situations where like this thing it has dive bombed for you. It launches its stinger onto your shield and isn't able to like quite penetrate like the shield generator. It goes off to take another attack run when Rand just like whaps it towards you, and with that you are able to snatch it out of the sky to do with what you will. And Zev, you know, you see the reports of this happening in real time again as the one guy who that just happened to just goes and you know, sort of like with that shock of like his hunter seeker is out of it, but there remains the other. So back to the PCs.
All right.
I believe it's Zev's turn. So what are you gonna do?
Wasn't I the one? Wasn't I the one
He's the
that
one
moved
who started
Zephyr
this
in the
whole
play?
mess.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's my
right.
fault.
Okay, sorry. Then in that case, we're top of the order, right?
We'll
who's
decide
going
who goes first. I'm gonna pass it over to Cassandra so they can deal with their hunter seeker.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's deal with this thing. Let's see here. So it took out my shield, stuck me in the wrist, and then
Now it's flying back to finish
like
the job.
great. Okay. Well then I'm gonna try to take it out, basically. I mean, I don't know what else I can really do here. Just smash it.
Yeah. Give me that battle. We'll say it's that difficulty 3, just because again it is a smaller target. So you know.
All right. I'm guessing power again.
Yes.
All right. And do we have any momentum left?
Nope.
Nope.
You
Good to know.
Give me
All right.
threat. Give me threat.
I mean, I feel like at this point I don't have much of a choice.
You You can use your
Well-
friend to help, though. You do have your bodyguard. Your
That's
Bene
true.
Gesserit bodyguard.
That's
true. How would I go about doing that then, using her to help?
She will give you a +1, given that this is a melee situation, and she's got that sweet conditioning for her body to make her reflexes super great. So, but you can also give me threat.
I think... See, because I've got plans later that might rely on giving you threat, so I don't want to give you too much right now. So
What could go wrong?
Everything. That's the problem.
Everything. Come on. Oh, come on. Really?
Ridiculous.
Mm.
We are all of a sudden rolling
Nothing.
horribly.
Just
no.
nothing.
Yeah, so it is a thing where you know, this thing is so small and so agile and very much you know, that person that that thing that like wants to like whoever is controlling it clearly is far more experienced than the other guy. And it is able to deftly zift around. Cassandra, you know, like, this is one of those tools that, you know, all young noble children are taught to fear. And you see in this moment exactly why that is. As, you know, the soldiers around you also are concerned and startled, because, you know, again, this thing keeps escaping their clutches just so narrowly. With my turn, it's gonna attack you again. And let me think. Actually, I'm gonna have it attack Tharsha.
Tharsha, no!
Zarya still has a shield.
So it does,
Ours is
and
expendable.
it is able. Yeah, it is able to destroy her shield as well. But she is able to like successfully, you know, even though it does pierce her flesh, you see her draw on that Bene Gesserit concentration, so she neutralizes the poison within her system to stop it from affecting her. So,
I thought that was more of a Reverend Mother capability. Jesus.
So it flies off and continues going for the next pass. PCs, what are you doing? Who's going next?
I would like to try to feed the information about the Hunter-Seeker drone to Zev so that he can hopefully interfere with the signal and help Cassandra. They can try to interfere with the signal and help Cassandra. So what type of action would you like me to communicate that information to the person at the command center?
I mean, I think, like, what do you mean by information? Just like...
So I have the actual Hunter-Seeker, like, because we said I can get out of the air and kind of do with what I want.
Okay.
And I want to feed the frequency so he can possibly jam it, because Cassandra is not... I've not gotten a report that Cassandra is safe.
Let's see. Let's do an understand test.
Not great at that.
I will say understand with truth.
Oh. Just gonna hit my bad rolls. Alright. Was hoping
She's
for
trying to take us out at this point.
I know.
Well, it's not social though, it's technological. That's my thought there.
That's fair.
You are
That's fair.
reciting like science-y technical data.
Okay. That is super fair. Does my surveillance asset help so that I can give a direct look of the item to them?
Oh,
From my feed.
well, where did you
feed them-
put the surveillance asset?
It's
Like-
it's an asset thing, so I'm asking if it helps or not. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's fine.
Well,
I'm
so
asking if it's
basically
useful in
with
this
the
situation.
assets, like especially with like the static assets, you're supposed to like assign them to a zone and then they stay there. So is it on your person?
Yeah, I
or
would have
was
put it on me
like...
so he could. In this case, it would have been on me so he could monitor me while I'm going through tunnels and stuff. So he has live data, much like Theron. In this case, I would use the colonial marine idea of we all have I have a little camera and he can see where I'm seeing. So
Okay.
we can do that.
Okay, all
That would
right.
make the most logical
Yeah,
sense.
in that case, I'll allow it. I'd say
Okay.
it's difficulty 2 before that.
All right, so let's try to see if I can get one on my worst roll.
I mean, you are a sword guy, not science guy.
I am a sword guy, not a science guy. Oh, that is the time to do that.
Hey, there we
Oh,
are.
thank God.
There we go. Well done. Now you're a science guy. So yeah,
I'm
you get,
also the science guy.
I will say that it is very much Zev coaching you with their
Sure.
understanding of the exactly what they're looking for. That you are able to, get a very accurate technical readout of the communication lines of where these things are coming from. But again, Zev, you can also see where these things are coming from.
So
'cause you can see
it's
the
actually
pilot.
happening. It's actually happening from inside the room.
Mhm.
And now, are there a bunch of people piloting these things, or just one person controlling them?
There were 2. One of them has, pulled off their headset because theirs is out of commission.
Okay.
So now it's my turn. We're gonna have it hit Darja again. Okay, so it gets 2 successes. So yeah, this time, it hits her. It manages to hit her like in the neck, and you can see like she tries to like fight this aspect off, but it's too fast and it's too quick, and you see that very familiar slowing thing take her there, and she takes a moment to like drop to a knee because it's intense. She is still alive, but she is not looking particularly like she has taken some damage there, and just kind of looks at you with that like thing of like, I am concentrating on fighting this and I can't do my job of also protecting you right now. So back to the PCs.
Well, I mean, I think the key thing here would be trying to jam it. If that's something we can do, then
Is that not what?
Yeah, it's.
Mhm.
I gave you the information to jam it, or you could ask Theron attack, but that would blow Theron's cover in the room. My go-to would be to try to jam, because you probably have a really good roll for that with understand.
Well, yeah. Just roll. I'm scared to roll at this point. I'm rolling awful tonight. Yeah, then if that's... Yeah, I would then try to use the computer systems we have to relay the radio information to, computer systems. To relay the jamming frequency to radio frequency or radio emitters on the ground that are already there.
I will say that this is going to be difficulty 3, just because, like, again, you are in orbit and not physically on the ground, so, like, there is the delay in communicating at the very least, as well as just the actual difficulty in jamming a very specific isolated signal. But you do have a momentum that was gained, So, you can spend it. You can give me threat.
I was going to ask if he does get a bonus die or less difficulty because he knows the exact frequency. They know the exact frequency they're looking for. They don't have to guess.
No, because
Okay.
this is specifically giving you that opportunity to do this. That's what that did, basically.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I do. Zev does have a familiarity with basically dampening signals.
Ooh, awesome.
Because I have an asset that's an actual Ixian damper.
Okay.
Now, that's a localized thing, but
yeah,
it is something I am very familiar with how to use.
Okay. Do you have a focus for signal dampening, or no?
Well, no, but I feel like that would...
yeah, I'm
I would
sorry.
feel like that could fall under espionage, but it could go either way.
Yeah, because this is very much just specifically looking to, jam a signal, which I feel like is not so much espionage, so much as, that computer hacking kind of thing.
Yeah, then I don't have one specifically for that, no.
So yeah,
okay.
But you do have momentum you can spend, and again, you can buy
Yeah,
extra
I'm gonna
dice
have
with
to.
Red.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend the momentum, and what would my drive?
You got this.
Be?
Probably duty because you're saving Cassandra's life.
Duty.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
True. Okay. Duty 3. Please.
You got this.
Yeah, well. No, I do not.
Oh.
This is ridiculous. I told you, I should not even be here.
Oh no.
I should be uninvolved right now.
You're fine.
Also,
yeah, I know.
because it's a 3, that 18 is a complication, which I am going to convert to threat. Just because I can't really think of a cool complication for this specific situation. But I will say though that this is a thing where it will reduce the difficulty to 2 next round if you want to try it again. So this is an extended task, so don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
And again, it adds tension and excitement. Yeah. Okay. So that was your turn. We're gonna have
tonight.
the Hunter Seeker go after.
That was the end of the round, actually.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that was the end of the round.
Okay, so back to PCs.
All right. I guess. Well, I guess that means we should try to take it out. I don't know what else I could do at this point.
You could move out of the zone.
I can try to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We can have you move to a side room or something like that. So you're behind cover. You can pass it back to Zev to attempt to jam it again.
Actually, yeah, I'll pass it back to Zev.
Oh, good.
All right. So now
I have faith in you, friend.
Difficulty 2, and again, you can give me threat.
Should I just do a straight roll on this instead of giving the
storyteller
additional threat?
You can give the ST 1 threat for the 3 dice. And hope for the
Okay.
best. I feel that's okay. She already has the 2 to give the initiative, so 3 is not going to game break us here.
Yes.
There you go.
Woohoo!
That's ridiculous.
Awesome.
All right.
The 18 is a complication. So
Of course it is.
let's see. What do I want to have happen? So basically, okay. So the you were able to jam the Hunter Seeker successfully. You can see in real time how, you know, the person wearing the headset is just like, wait, what, you know, and kind of like hitting it like to try to get stuff back, as the orders are communicated that like something's wrong, something's not working. Cassandra, what you see is basically that it's flying about for a second pass and it's going to hit Tharsha, and then as it does, it does manage another strike on her, but then it dies. It just seems to go lifeless and, you know, falls down. But with its fall, so does Tharsha.
Damn it. Well, I will,
But we are out
I
of
can't change
combat.
that.
Yeah.
I will immediately go over and stomp on the damn thing. That's what I'm doing.
It gives you the most satisfying crunch. The most satisfying crunch.
We're not done. We'll see to this later. Keep moving.
My lady,
Oh, is she? Oh, she's still kicking.
Sorry.
Okay.
yeah, like she's basically like barely, like, she needs help.
Well, then she'll drop down. Yeah, she'll drop down. Doctor, can you see to her?
She has the dying condition right now.
Use the doctor, he's there.
Doctor.
Now, does the
Doctor, help
adrenaline
her.
shot, is that once a scene, or is that anytime?
Once per PC, once per scene.
Okay. So this is not
So-
a...
So how would you like to rule on that? Because they're not a PC, so I can make a roll instead, if you would like.
I think, because, like, I like it either way of being a dramatic sad death thing, or a, you know, she is saved but taken out of play as an asset here. So I think
The doctor
just make it
will try to save her, because he has to.
Yeah.
He cannot let her
Yes.
die, so it is up to you how you would like to narrate that, as the doctor is not here and it is an NPC asset, so, like, all on you.
Okay. So yeah, so basically, Tharsha just sort of like, looks up at Cassandra and very weakly, you know, tries to hold out her hand towards hers, and says, my lady, my sister, I failed you. And she sort of like slumps back as the doctor proceeds to like try to you know, issue the adrenaline shot, and anything he can, but it's very clear that, you know, like, as he's doing all of the actions that he can to save this patient, that like it is pretty much the fact that you know, she was Bene Gesserit at all, that she was able to survive not just the one strike but all of those strikes, and it's just, you know, too much for her body to handle anymore. she gives a spasm when the adrenaline hits her system, but it is clear that that is just a reflexive thing from just a nervous reaction of her internal organs rather than an actual sign of continued life. And yeah, with that, Tharja, the bodyguard to Dahlia of House Adder, has fallen.
You did not fail. The task is nearly done. And she'll utter a kind of a soft prayer and then stand up. All right. And if she was like grimly determined before, her face is just this stony mask, like, and she'll march toward the chamber where she knows these people are holed up.
Yeah, I mean, again, you guys have the because of Theron, as well as interrogating Illyria, you have the you definitely have the map of the interior. You have all the security codes to get past everything. Zev, again, from overseeing everything, that this was like that last ditch effort to try to like get something through. Raul, your force and Cassandra meet in front of this throne room. Big heavy doors blocking your way, but you have the codes to get in. It is not a difficult task in any remote sense of the word. Is there anything you say to each other before you enter?
Well, first off, I will notice that my lady does not have a shield, so I will give her my shield. Followed by I have the ability to generate a zero asset thing for a scene.
Yes.
So I'm assuming there's like a dead guard around, and I'll just cut his hand. I'll cut his hand off and take his shield.
Yeah. Done. Cool as hell.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Gangsters do. But yeah, so have an asset 1 shield for the rest of the scene. So it's a difficulty 3 for it to be turned into. So I will just generate a 1 0 asset shield for myself. Do you want to do the honors? Do you want me to do the honors, or would you like our allies to do the honors?
I am more than happy to do the honors myself.
Very well.
And yeah, my shield was asset 1, so hey. That works for me. And I'll, punch in the code and open the door. And I'll stride inside. Well,
so
I'll open the door first.
The throne room is set up, again, to be sort of reminiscent of the castles of old. There are elegant tapestries hanging. There are windows that show views of a lush, beautiful watery world, rather than and this to be illusion, obviously, like some sort of hologram or something like that. But it creates this beautiful, almost like hanging gardens kind of space, which again, all of is just sort of that like very gauche, noble way of rubbing into the native Iraqis how much money they have that they can create these sorts of water expenditures. There is the traditional water basins to the side, where people can wash their hands and drop the rest on the floor, as well as, the assembled people who there is a collective gasp when you do enter. You see fear on their faces of just, again, it is Conley. Everybody knows what is happening and that their fates are sealed. There are women and children who are present, mothers who are hiding, the eyes of their child behind their skirts just to ensure that whatever is to come, they do not see. And again, the head of House Evanesque is just sitting there on this throne, casually surveying all of you enter, and he looks across. So the replacement finally sees fit to enter my estate. It's funny how it took this much just to gain an appearance by yours. So much could have been saved had your arrogant father acquiesced to our request. But instead, he looks across the field. All of these bodies are on your head as much as they are on mine.
And she'll just look him in the eye. And she will say, I truly give no care to your bluster. And then she'll make a sign to her guards people to be ready, but she will also say, and I'm going to use the voice.
Ooh.
And she will say, you will yield.
Okay. What is the resist?
So basically,
for that?
I get it doesn't really have a resist. Basically, when I use
okay.
it, I can add 1, 2, or 3 points to threat to score the same number of automatic successes to a communicate test to influence my chosen target.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
And I'm looking at that amount of threat we have so far, and
Yeah.
But honestly, I also just want to do it. I just want to do it in the moment and roll with whatever happens. Because that's how we have fun, right?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna say that this is gonna be very let's see. This is an epic difficulty because again, this is a guy who does not want to lose. He has his back against the wall. He is ready to burn everything the fuck down. So this is difficulty 5. As a heads up.
Ooh. All right. So there's still a chance of failure here.
Yes.
I will. I'm gonna go. I will go full bore. I will.
Hell yeah. Do it.
Because honestly, we're at that stage. I'm like, I don't.
No bigger,
she
go
is
home.
Going to, and the thing is, it gets more noticeable the more power you put into it.
Yes.
But I don't care. Cassandra does not care. So
do it. This is incredible.
I think. I'm guessing. So communicate and probably power.
Yeah. You want him to submit. Get under my boot.
I don't think diplomacy. This would be more intimidation than anything else, and I don't have that. So we'll see how this goes.
You're not nicely asking him to surrender. There's nothing in it for him.
Woo!
Yes! Hell yeah! Oh man. Oh, it's so good. Okay. So you use the voice, and the power can be felt throughout the room. There is a hush from literally everyone as it stands down. You feel, again, this is, you become like Galadriel in that moment where, you would want a queen.
Yeah.
And you see in his face the veins and, everything in his body is straining to resist as he starts to turn almost purple from just the sheer force of will he's trying to exert to avoid following this command. But you're so, you utilize too much power, and he ends up like a puppet, almost jerkily getting up out of the chair, only to kneel before you. Hatred and rage is in his face, as against his will he finds himself saying, House Evanesque yields to House Lucinor. There is
And
collective,
that look is reciprocated.
There is a collective hush as the courtiers in the area all look around nervously, unsure of their fate, unsure of what will happen. But in this moment, a man who had been seated behind the throne rises, and he wears light gray armor that seems to have a slash of red that almost looks like blood across his chest. His hair is his blonde hair is set in elaborate braids that fall down his neck and shoulders. This man carries himself like a warrior, and to you, Cassandra, as well as Raul, the accoutrements and the way that the pure arrogance at which he carries himself speak to one who was bred by the Sardaukar. He steps down off the throne room and looks across to you, and as well as Raul, sizing them up. I was promised a duel. And I will kill everyone here. And you know that I will take them all out before you are able to do anything. I will have my duel. Name your champion, witch.
Oh. Well, Raul, do you think you could take a Sardaukar?
Yeah, sure. That's what I'm here for.
A swordmaster from Ganaz absolutely can take a Sardaukar.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she'll look at him. She'll look at him and flat out and she'll just say, Raul.
Mm-hmm. He turns to the man and keeps Cassandra like, should we finish the business before we head to the entertainment?
That is a good question, isn't it? Out of character.
Out of character, I just wanted to swiftly cut the head off of the guy, head of the house guy, so that's done, and we can deliver that to who that needs to get delivered to. Regardless of my outcome.
It's so tempting to have Theron just slip out and just kill the Sardaukar without him even realizing he's about to be attacked. It's so tempting.
Deal with him. I will finish this.
Sure. So, quick question. Is the blade that Ran has from the school older than mine? Like, it would be more honorable for me to use his blade or my blade based upon our school traditions?
I will say that Rand's is older, yes.
Then I will humbly ask, as he is the older swordsman, to borrow his blade to use his blade as well for the purpose of this particular fight. And I'll dual wield if that is allowable for you.
Yes. Given your relationship, you know, it is definitely a thing. And he honestly looks slightly jealous that he doesn't get to fight him. But you know, it's kind of that thing of take it with honor.
Right.
The Sardaukar definitely unsheathes his blades and sort of rolls his shoulder back and is just pure that almost like berserker style warrior who's just that secure in his prowess because he has been bred to be that ultimate soldier.
Okay.
So you go first.
Okay, I'll take it. What asset level is Rand's blade? I assume it is one higher than whatever mine is, or?
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm just checking. Then I will start by bold moving, because in the dual setup, it goes there's only 3 zones. And
yes.
I assume he has a shield. I could be horribly mistaken.
Yes.
He could just be I'm going to be a verbose.
Oh, definitely.
Sardaukar. So I will bold move against his shield and start there, because that's the best opening move in this particular situation. And I get to battle in duty because she commanded me and picked me as her champion, which makes my life easier.
Yeah.
1 complication, but a critical success as well. I'm not gonna let her reroll that yet. We just started, so.
Okay. So, his shield is quality 2.
Okay, so it's an extended challenge at 4 successes. Check.
Yes. Okay. So that is so it's down to 2, right? Okay, cool.
And I will basically. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that the complication is that your blade loses a quality from just the strength of it.
Sure.
You know, like your strike is not as swift as it should be, and that reverberation of trying to penetrate it, you know, weakens the quality of the blade.
Sounds good. So my personal weapon is down to asset 0. I'm totally fine with that. All right.
Cool.
It is on him.
Yeah. So he is going to. Because he has Master at Arms, and this is the start of a duel, I'm going to spend a point of threat to increase the quality of one of his blades from 1 to 2.
Okay.
And he is going to attack.
Oh, super important. I also have that. I'm actually going to increase my shield from 0 to 1.
Cool. Sweet. So yeah, he's going to hit the shield. 3 successes, because 1 was critical.
All right, so my shield is destroyed. My shield is lost. I only have 2 assets left.
Oh no. Okay.
I will.
You got.
What's up? What's up?
You got.
I know. I will go ahead and continue to target his shield, but I will use my ability to with the ability to move assets. I will move Raul's blade into the other asset section, so I only have my blade is his blade is being used defensively currently. All right. One success, but
Okay.
another complication.
So it's just for.
Or no?
Are you? Okay, to attack
What's
the
up?
shield.
Yeah,
to attack the shield,
attack
right?
the shield.
Okay, so that gives 1, right?
Yep, his shield is down to 1.
Okay. Cool. So he kind of looks at you and it's just and he's going to try to attack you again. Attacking the defensive blade. Okay. So that is oh geez. Okay. That is 4 successes because 2 were critical because he has a focus in the short blades.
Okay.
So do you want to have it that the sword gets skittered across?
Yeah, he totally knocks that out of my hand. Seems super legit. Right?
Is this what House Lucinor has to offer?
All right. 3rd time's the charm. Hopefully I can get something going this time. If not, well, that is definitely something going.
Oh!
Awesome.
So that will destroy his shield and generate 3 momentum. I will immediately burn 2 of those momentum to seize the edge, and the other momentum to give the trait disarming to myself to seize the difficulty and to seize the initiative, and then give the trait. I don't know. I'm trying to give the trait that'll allow me to disarm him immediately after, with this attack. So to use it to lower the difficulty of attacking his blade. Riposte. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll tell the trait riposte.
Okay. Cool.
And I'll even go as far as to give you a threat as well, so I can roll 3 dice for this.
Sure.
Is there a way to add the trait stabbed through the heart? 'Cause that would be useful.
Well, we're about to see if that works out for me. Nope. I'm going to re-roll that with my determination.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
Yes! You still have yours.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be 5 successes.
Much better.
Hell yeah. So, because that is so super cool, I will allow you
That was epic.
to describe this killing blow.
Sure.
So give me the narrate out how does this look? Because again, this is badass.
So when he makes the comment and I lean in super close with the 1 remaining blade I have and penetrate his shield, and then in a very quick, fluid set of motions, he drops the sword, catches it, slashes his Achilles tendon so he crumples, spins around his back, pulls his hair, and goes, "Yes, it is," and slits his throat.
Yes. Hell yeah. And Cassandra, for you see the face of the Lord of House Evanesque finally have that crack in his resolve as this man was meant to be his trump card. You know that, like, you know, this had to be thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Solari just to have a Sardaukar here. So the idea that he was defeated so swiftly is just that, like, that is that spirit breaking moment of, oh god, now I'm proper fucked. So yeah, at this point, you guys have seized the day and successfully completed Conley. As we move into wrapping everything up, with the courtiers and stuff that are present, are you executing all of them, or are you taking them, you know, hostage? You know,
We'll take them. I don't see a reason to execute everybody in the room, but what I want Cassandra to do is to cross over to where he's kneeling, the head of the house, look him in the eyes, and say, "You're never going to hurt anyone ever again." And she's going to jam her knife into the side of his neck.
blood spurts all over Cassandra, sort of washing over her face like a baptism, as he like looks at her with those like wide eyes of shock. This is not how this was supposed to go. This is not how this was supposed to end. You see it in his eyes as the light finally leaves him, that this is a man who has completely and utterly been defeated. Thank you guys so very much for playing. I hope that you know, this was super fun, and you know, we got to actually experience the Dune combat rules. We went from warfare to skirmish, assassination, and finally a duel. So again, for everybody watching, we are playing Dune: Adventures in the Imperium by Modifius Entertainment. It is a fantastic book. It utilizes their 2D20 system with some really incredible narrative aspects. Yeah, I guess as we do our outros, if you can, you know, sort of give your thoughts on where your character is at right now, with what you got to do, and where you see yourself going forward on top of, you know, your regular outro. So let's start with Paul.
Sure. Raul's headspace is, this was the easy part. Now comes the hard part. Fighting is the easy part. Now comes the hard part. He's got some things that he's got planned, so we'll see how that works out. Especially now that, we'll see how that works out. As for other stuff, you can find me at PaulMarchant6 on Twitter, playing all sorts of other games. Weirdly enough, you can also find our Response Team Omicron podcast for Lancer on as well. That's up all over the place. Go check it out. It's really awesome. We've got several episodes coming out. And tomorrow, you can find me on an Aliens podcast that is going on. That should be not an Aliens podcast, an Aliens stream that is going on over at Untold Stories, which hopefully is up there. The Untold Stories project, which is hopefully up on the link up on the thing. I don't know because I don't look at the stream while we play. I'm that guy.
Awesome.
Right.
Jace, the eye in the sky.
Oh. Zev is happy that this part is done, but at the same time, they're thinking towards what happens next, because the same way that Paul was describing, this was the easy part. Everything else that happens is going to be much more dangerous in much different ways. As for the personal stuff, you can find me at Jace Ridley pretty much everywhere. I'll be returning to my own stream soon, and I'll be around here hopefully more often as well. And who knows where else? We'll find out.
Yay! All right, Allie.
Well, Cassandra, I mean, she's definitely in that same mind space that the hard part comes next. This, I mean, there were challenges, there were setbacks, but this was the easier portion. Um, Next come the politics, which are so much more dangerous.
Well,
Uh,
and you have the added thing where you have to be the one to tell your sort of not girlfriend that you got her closest friend killed.
I mean,
It'll be fine.
yeah,
It'll be fine.
it'll be fine. We'll deal with it. More than that, though, in the moment, she is satisfied. Not obviously there were things that went wrong. There are things that are that will weigh on her in the moments that come after this. But ever since she saw what this man had done to his daughter, it has been a rage that has been clawing at the back of her mind. And well, it's certainly the fact that taking a life does not exactly ease that sort of thing. It's given her at least some measure of satisfaction that he will never be able to do that ever again. As far as where folks can find me, I am at Lexi Phoenix on Twitter. I will be moderating for Dungeon Scholars tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time on Twitch, and hopefully I'll be around here more with Weave the Tale and future projects. We'll see, but I know we've still got one more of these to do, so
Yes.
fingers crossed.
Hell yes. Yeah, and again, we want to thank Mark, who couldn't be here tonight, but is our wonderful doctor who really saved the day as far as our lovely lady. And again, please follow him on Mondo Keen Publishing. I want to say for the record, Allie, that Cassandra using the voice there definitely saved you guys a huge deal, because I was going to spend my threat to have the Lord announce that the entire fortress was wired to explode, because he was perfectly fine just killing everybody so long as you guys didn't win. That was going to be his action. And so you in getting him to yield just like bypassed that problem to solve, which is incredible. So well fucking done.
Yeah.
That was
I had
the
been
best
planning
spend.
that the entire session.
That was the best spend, and again, I am so happy that you went for it. It was the coolest fucking moment. And again, this is why I love all of you guys so deeply, because you are willing to take these swings and go for these like high, crazy, cool moments. Like that was just quintessentially Dune, quintessentially a Bene Gesserit. Like fucking love it. I am Jen. I go by @SavageSparrow on the internet. You can find me at SavageSparrow.com, where I sell nerdy shirts and apparel. This is my first time running the 2D20 combat, especially with Dune. And I had a lot of fun. It was cool, like being able to have a more free-flowing way to like with the give and take, with the creating these cinematic options. I had a lot of fun with that. If you like me, my role playing, I play on Pathfinder every Sunday on our sister channel, Penny for a Tale. And I'll also be on Weave doing something next season. So, definitely please give us a follow and check that out. Once again, this season of Weave the Tale is sponsored by Modifius Entertainment, Green Run and Publishing, Free League Publishing, and Imagining Games. We can't put on the shows that we do without them, so please thank them, follow their stuff, check it out. All the games are really cool and awesome. And yeah, once again, thank you guys for sticking with us. Please revel in this incredible victory. Everybody brought their A game tonight, and it was super, super awesome. And yeah, next week is our final episode. So let's see what happens and go with the flow.
Still not. It's so.